which recent medication reduction error strategy have been implemented most successfully?
One of the most important things that health systems can do is not just read it and forget it. They've got to react to it. And one of the things that we've been doing for hospitals for some time is when we publish our articles, about every 3 months, we review all of the major errors. We call it quarterly action agenda. And many hospitals take this very seriously. They will sit down with nurses and doctors at a safety committee, for example, or a P&T committee, and they'll look and see, do we have this particular situation in our hospital? Here's what ISMP says has been a problem based on the practitioner reports that they've received. And they're making these recommendations to prevent the incident from happening at our hospital. So what steps should we take? I think that is a very powerful thing to do. And unfortunately, too many people let that opportunity go by. There's no requirement. The Joint Commission doesn't requirement. CMS doesn't requirement, which I think is an oversight. I think it should, and I don't mean just for ISMP, but for patient safety alerts in general. I think that's extremely important. And so I would call that one of the most important things you can do. A lot of the other ones are very, very specific. We'll make recommendations for 2 look-alike drugs, containers, for example. We have one going on right now, and it's a horrible, horrible tragedy if the drug gets given to a patient. There's 2 drugs from a new manufacturer, Eclat, and one of them is called Bloxavers, and that's neostigmine to reverse the effects of a neuromuscular blocker during surgery. And the other is Vasculep, which is phenylephrine injection, which is a vasopressor that's used commonly for people with hypotension during surgery and other procedures as well. And unfortunately, they look very much alike, physical appearance, red caps, red labeling, et cetera. And we've had a number of reports of the wrong drug, Vasculep, going down to the operating room in a massively large container. It's called a pharmacy bulk package, which has 5 to 10 times more than the normal vial, which would have 10 milligrams, so 50 or 100 milligrams, and getting into the OR, and because somebody dispensed the wrong thing. And so these are the kinds of things that when we publish them, or when FDA publishes them, or whoever you hear from, you can't just let that sit. You've got to put that on your agenda and take care of it. And we've made a number of recommendations, including in the manufacturer, and we're happy to learn this past week that the company has agreed to revise the way that appears. It won't be with the red labeling and red cap anymore. So that's good. But we don't even know why pharmacies would buy the pharmacy bulk package, why that would even be necessary, because the 10 milligram vial has more than enough to make up the infusion type solution that's needed. But that's very typical of the recommendation that we would make, in addressing these kinds of medication errors.